G'day folks, Tony again here for more Star Control 2. Well, here we are in the deep dark woods of Eta Vulpeculae. Couldn't have said it better myself, and I didn't. And it looks like we have a whole bunch of ores to dodge here. Similar to the last system that we're in, although we are going to have a quick squiz because with the ores being so adamant and so cranky before we reloaded the game when we kept asking about the androsynth supposedly being in this part of space, I think it's entirely possible that we might find oh good grief. I think it's entirely possible that we might find some remnants of the androsynth around here. I am getting quite sick of these conversations. So only one of those ships doing the old flicker, which means that we can't collide with it again. I'm also hoping that because we've had that one set of conversations, we're not going to have it again. Oh, for heaven's sake. It's going to play havoc with my audio leveling, but that's my problem to deal with, not yours. Let's zoom out of there and try again. Planet 8 proving remarkably difficult to actually land on. Oh, look at that. Beautiful work eventually, finally. Was it worth it? Oh, there looks like some exotics there, so I'm calling that a win. Go team. Class 7 tectonics. So this would definitely wreak havoc on us if we didn't have all of those upgrades, but as it was, we handled it rather nicely. Now, can we escape? Oh, the daring do. Look at that. The Dank handling it quite neatly. So there seems to be, good heavens, there seems to be a shuffling to and fro of various ships in various locations. I'm sure there's an art to this. Maybe we're getting better at it. Maybe we're not. That is a gas giant, so we don't have to worry about it. Ooh, that was close. So in terms of how things spawn and where they spawn and when they spawn, I'm not really sure that it makes a lot of sense, but it is definitely clear that the ores really like this place. Another magnetic world, another little piece of exotic material. I have a feeling that the game is trying to gently prod us to persist with this slightly nightmarish sort of navigational nonsense that we're doing. But those exotic materials are worth an awful lot, so I am going to stick with it. Oh, good grief. So we haven't found any weird things happening just yet. Plenty of planets left to go, though, including those two in the center. We do tend to find homeworlds and so forth in those inner planets for the most part. So we can wait and see about that. This ultraviolet world, having a couple of bits on it that are maybe worth picking up. Won't take us too long to duck down there. So we're going to grab this central red dot, and we're going to grab these two up here because I think they're the more expensive ones. Expensiver, of course, being a very frequently used word in the far future of the human race. All right, so I think we had another one over here. We do indeed. It seems to be clearing the screen of a lot of ships whenever we zoom out of a planet, presumably because it would just be an absolute higgledy-piggledy mess if everything were where you left it when you entered orbit. Right, so not a lot of luck there. So exactly who are these ores, and what do they want, and where do they come from? That is something of a mystery, but oh boy, they certainly turned on a dime and got very, very cranky permanently by the looks of it when we kept being too pushy about the androsynth. My understanding, if you want to dig down into Star Control lore, is that I believe the androsynth word derived from humans. So if that is in fact the case, then I would assume that it's something that the Urs probably noticed simply by using their eyes. So it is somewhat disturbing to consider the prospects of what they may or may not have done. So these things here have always been hostile to us and always been a real nightmare. So it is with some pleasure that I am shooting the shit out of them and harvesting all of their internal and presumably also external organs to sell to a different race of space bugs. Ooh, a bouncy ball. How pleasant. Not like this terrifying betentacled nightmare. Even the flippy flappy feet are more scary than the bouncy ball. Harder to kill too. Come on. Give me some more tentacles. My brain is automatically assuming that they're worth more because they're harder to kill. I have no idea if that's backed up by data. And I don't care to figure it out. Alright. Come on. Shoot. Shoot to kill. Kill to shoot. Hello. Top work. Damn lightning. Ooh, more tentacles. Yeah, bring it. So is this another stand-up fight? Or just another bug hunt? What other random movie quotes can I work in here? Does YouTube automatically detect copyrighted phrases the way that it detects copyrighted music tracks? Who knows? What I can tell you is that we've harvested all those things, and because I really, really super duper don't want to have to do that again or put you through that again, let's save the game. I'm feeling a little sassy this episode, you may have noticed. Perhaps it's the medication that I'm on. I probably sound a bit nasally and a bit snuffly at the moment. That's the ever-evolving whatever the hell I've had for the last several days. Increasing its grip on my sinus cavity particularly. Too much information? Let me know in the comments. Alright, a Lathanide world covered in green dots. I'm going to collect them all by applying the Pokemon principle. YouTube has detected use of the word Pokemon. Yum yum delicious. Give me all of the monies. Give me all of the hard to collect resource unit equivalents. Okay, so we have this sort of inner world with a moon around it and only a single ship orbiting the main planet. I don't want to say that I'm hopeful, so I'm going to strongly imply it by saying it. Let's see what is here. That is a distinctly different looking kind of planet from what we usually see. Does it have minerals? Nothing special. Does it have energy? Aha! At long last, we have found ourselves a planet that has a bunch of energy readings on it. And some biologicals as well. So there's plenty of us, plenty of things for us to do here on this planet. Some terrifying looking worms that I'm going to harvest. And some weird glowy ruin things. Report from surface. Xenohistorian Kilgore here, sir. We have confirmed that these ruins are the remnants of the Androsynth culture. From the mass destruction we have witnessed, we can only assume that there was some kind of huge land war here within the past 5 years. However, there is no more... Repeat, no signs of orbital bombardment or invasion from space. Just a whole mess of buildings shot to pieces. Probably the weirdest thing we have seen, or not seen, are corpses. There aren't any. It's as though something appeared out of nowhere, blasted everything with nuclear bazookas, then more, grabbed all the Androsynth and disappeared. An additional report, sir, this time from Science Officer Bukowski. We have located an Androsynth scientific research station, and I have been trying to make some sense out of what is left of their central computer. As far as I can tell, about 7 years ago, the Androsynth began experimenting with something they called dimensional fatigue phenomena. I can't figure out what this dimensional fatigue, or DF as they call it, is, but maybe if we explored another city, I would be able to find more information on this subject more. End of report. Well, fortunately, there are a whole bunch of places here for us to find stuff. So let's just blast these easily available resources. I mean, beings who have cool stats. All right, here we go. Report from surface. Bukowski again, sir. We have found another research institute. Well, the ruins of one anyway. The computer here is in better shape, allowing me to learn a bit more about the Androsynth's investigation into DF, dimensional fatigue, more. It would appear that their studies actually began over 10 years ago, after one of their blazer vessels discovered some precursor artifacts in Alpha Lalande. As far as their scientists here could tell, the devices generated DF waves, which would allow the user to see into so Alpha Lalande, that's something to keep in mind. Dimensions, realms of existence, which share position with our own universe, but have a different... what should I call it? Reality phase. Anyway, the Androsynth had hoped that the dimensional fatigue technology contained in the devices would permit them to create new, faster forms of hyperdrive and hyperwave more. Instead, when they began their experiments, they made contact with some kind of life form on the other side, a creature from an alien dimension. Again, the record is fragmentary here. I see requests to the central computer for information, data on reality aberrations more. The mosquito mange, and, well, ghosts, poltergeists, and other malevolent supernatural creatures. The requests grow more urgent, almost frantic, and then the record ends. End of report. I see what you did there. Go harvest some more worms and ambulatory jellyfish. Ooh, another one. Report from surface. Captain, this is Ensign Hawthorne, standing in for Bukowski. Sir, Bukowski has found something, but, well, in the process, he has gone kind of nuts. When we first got to this demolished city, Bukowski went more wild because the science center was pretty much intact. He locked himself in their computer control cabin and spent about 10 hours alone in there. We could hear him mumbling to himself. Then his speech got louder until he was almost shouting, and sir, he was scared, damn scared more. We finally decided that we'd better check up on him, but Bukowski wouldn't let us into the room. He said that no one could ever know what he had learned, that just knowing was enough to alert them. He kept talking about them. Crazy stuff, sir, about how they could see him now, and they were moving toward him. Then Bukowski started thrashing around the room, screaming that he had to destroy everything before they saw us too. He did a lot of damage to the Anthracinth's computer before we stopped him, and I guess he must have hurt himself in the process. He's cut up pretty badly. You know, it's strange. He must have hurt himself worse than I thought. Now, when I look at him, it seems like he has even more cuts than just a few minutes ago, and boy, is he screaming. Based on the damage Bukowski wreaked on the central computer, I don't believe that we will find anything more down here. I think we have learned all that we can from exploring these ruins, and frankly, sir, with all of Bukowski's ranting, I'm getting a bit nervous myself. Call us back to the ship soon. Please. End of report. I will call you back to the ship once I have confirmed that I will learn nothing more by driving through all of these things, and also after I've finished blasting this thing to death. Die. Got it. Good work, team. Alright, so now that we've done that, that is definitely the case. That is definitely a reason, I should say, for saving the game again. So let's do that. So is that implying that the Urs are to blame? Who knows? It certainly isn't stating it out loud. Is it going to give us more options when we're speaking to the Urs? Who knows? But it's definitely made our explorating of this particular star system worthwhile. Got one more planet up here. I'm hoping it's a treasure world, because that would just be the icing on the cake. A Lathanide world. Still not too bad. No energy readings, no biological readings, but still worth a hoover. So let's get hoovering. Still got around about half of our crew left, I think, on the flagship at the moment. We tend to use the flagship on most fights, so I guess we could just eventually end up transferring crew from our other ships onto this ship if we really need it, just to give it a bit more of a buffer. Okay, I think that's everything from this system. So if that is true, then we can continue our clockwisery. Another far future word. Our clockwisery journey around all of these stars. There's the next one. Which one are you? Zeta Vulpeculae. So there are no Urs patrolling around here. I'm going to assume that the reason there were... Oh, there's one. I tell a lie. The reason that other one there was loaded with them maybe was an indicator that there was a planet there worth finding. So pros and cons. Perhaps if we end up seeing more of them, it means that there is something in the system that is worth a look, not implying that they're hiding anything, but still worth persisting with the frustration of trying to avoid them. And on the plus side, when we don't see a bunch of them, it means that we can cruise around and collect presumably valuable material. That we now have a different type of ship to spend things on. And I think a little bit more work to do in terms of upgrading and optimizing the dank. There are a lot of potential treasure planets here as well. I'm hoping all of them are, but I doubt that will be the case. But we'll cross our fingers. There's one. Well done. Good work. No biologicals. All right. So there was a star system mentioned in part of those reports there that I think is going to be worth us looking into at some point in the future. Not going to worry about it immediately. But I think we're going to get to the point where we're real full on materials. How's their manifest looking at the moment? We have 58 free, although we do have 119 common, and I'm going to get rid of all of them because I'd rather have a lot more free space for those precious metals and beyond. Radioactives and what have you. And certainly when there are this many golden-looking planets in this system, although a couple of them are gas giants, I guess. There's a little one hidden right in there near the sun as well. So one ore's orbiting a gas giant, coming over trying to speak to us. I'd rather not, to be honest. Although, given that we have had that... Oh, another treasure world. Nice. Given that we have made that discovery of the androsynth, perhaps it's worth enraging them, or doing a little enrage check. So I may actually save the game straight after this and have a chat with them and see if we can prompt them into potentially giving us more information, or maybe, dooming us all. Perhaps that part of the conversation tree is totally different now that they're actually allied with us. I don't know. But certainly don't really want to permanently piss them off and have them not on our team, because they're more or less currently the only not extinct race who are on... Oh, looks like we've filled up all of our stuff. I was getting the full signal there. And we have 0 free, and I don't want to chuck out any of the rest of them because that's a lot of cool stuff. We have 361 bio as well. So it is time to head ourselves back to Z-Man, I believe. There's a little oars. Okay, and the Pekunk are on the move again. And they're making a fair move as well. So we'll remember where we're at. But we're going to make our way towards Z-Man. Also going to save the game. Like I said before, would be terrible to forget and then have something go horribly wrong. So we'll get there, we'll sell the biologicals, we'll upgrade some things. I think we'll be heading back to Earth as well. So that we can empty out the rest of the cargo base, do some upgrading, head down and talk to the Pekunk. Oh, hello. I am expanding. It is so much squishy to smell you. Campers are the best. I have anticipation, and then what? Better parties in the middle for sure. So that doesn't look like a different option, but let's just try it anyway. Just tell me, are we in for the same fate as them? You are not same. You are happy campers, but already you know. I will not talking about silly androsynth. Now is stop asking. If you are say the question another time, it is frumple too much, and oars are dancing for dissolving the campers. I am clear. You are not so silly. Okay. Oh, do we want to push it? I mean, let's try it. I can just reload if I need to. Okay. You don't want to talk about the androsynth. If you did, what would you say? Nyarg! It is dancing! Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Let's try that again. We successfully made it out of the system, and we are on our way to Z-Man. So clearly, the oars just not having any of it, really. Simply not interested in any kind of discussion related to the androsynth, in any kind of provocatory or even tongue-in-cheek nature. They're just not having a bar of it. So here we are in the Z-Man system. No Melnorm floating around here in easy evidence, but they do tend to be orbiting around the gas giants, and here they are. So let's go and get these goodies. Welcome back, Captain. You are our favourite customer. Your present balance is 71 credits. Now, what can we do for you today? I'm going to sell you some stuff. I would like to sell you some alien life forms. 722 credits. Yeah, so now we have 793 credits. Let's make some purchases. and we're going to buy some new tech. The technology we are now offering includes details on how to develop the Shiva furnace modules we were just discussing. These units generate energy for your combat batteries twice as fast as your standard dynamos. Gimme! I am certain you will appreciate the new module, Captain. With it, you should be able to destroy and devastate twice as fast as before. Your present balance is 643 credits. Commander, that is the limit of the new technology we can offer you. Good times. If I may say so, you have been an excellent customer. Thank you. So at the end of the tech tree, let's buy some information. Good. I wish to sell information. I wish to buy information about current events. No doubt you are familiar with an alien race called the Ungar, who live in the Orionis constellation. While they are renowned for their potent and often cruel sense of humour, they have outdone themselves in recent years. Specifically, they have used an unusual hyperwave caster to impersonate the Ilrath gods Dogar and Kazon. Aha! When the Ilrath began tuning in to the voices of their gods on their hyperwave receivers, their priest caste was understandably skeptical and counselled their many followers to ignore the blasphemous signals. However, in a surprise move, the majority of the Ilrath then rose up and slaughtered the entire priest caste. Their reasons for this ghastly move included overtaxation, lack of quality death in ceremony, and the general feeling that the priests had made Dogar and Kazon's pronouncements overly complex. As a side note, should you ever find yourself in possession of a caster similar to the Ungars, be aware that you may use it to summon us from any point in hyperspace. Your present balance is 568 credits. Interesting. I would like more information about current events. As you know, there are weaknesses in the division between dimensions. For example, your vessel uses such weaknesses to enter hyperspace. However, there are other weak spots in the galaxy which lead to yet different dimensions. One such portal exists nearby, between the Chandrasekhar and Columbae constellations. The portal opens only a short time each month, starting on the 17th. Since we have never entered the portal, we can give no more information on this subject. Your present balance is 493 credits. Let's try one more right now for good luck. Give me more. As you're probably aware, Ur-Quan starships, you call them dreadnoughts, I believe, possess effective self-annihilation circuits which prevent other races from reverse engineering Ur-Quan technological secrets. However, we have become aware of a shipwrecked dreadnought which has remained largely intact. You will find the remains of the ship on the surface of a blue world orbiting Alpha Pavonis. We suspect you will find at least one item of interest there, possibly two. Your present balance is 418 credits. Good times there. However, looking at my recording clock, that is all the time that we have for this part of the Let's Play. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode. You can subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be notified when other episodes are released. And please tell a friend if you think they might enjoy this. And come back again soon for more Star Control 2.